Guys, another big week of astrology going on this week, moving us in a specific direction for a specific reason. Themes this week are definitely going to include the Venus-Pluto conjunction that we've had ongoing all weekend. We also have Saturn now within a 1-degree orb square to Uranus in Taurus. We have a Uranus-Saturn square that is really being reactivated for the third time in the sky right now. That is actually going to be moving us energetically over the next few days towards a very big, significant energetic activation that we have happening, which will be the exact square of Saturn and Uranus. And it's coming when? December 24th. So from now until December 24th, Christmas Eve, we really have a lot of tension building. And remember, this is also in conjunction with Venus and Pluto, who are undergoing this saga right now. So really intense energy pushing for some major breakthroughs, some major change over this next couple weeks, and it's time to start talking about Uranus and Saturn again. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Monday, December 13th, 2021. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. And if you stick with me, until the end of the video, since today is Monday, I'm going to give a brief rundown, a brief day-by-day play-by-play of some of the main aspects that are playing out this week as well, so you guys can just have a little bit of a heads up in terms of what's coming at us and what the rest of my videos this week are going to entail. But we got a lot to talk about today. Like I said, we have a reactivated Saturn-Uranus square going on. This has been a really fundamental energy this whole year, and it's going on in correspondence with Venus and Pluto in a conjunction, which again has been another very fundamental energy that we've been dealing with this whole year. And these two combinations of planets making aspects are really doing a whole bunch to help us make an internal energetic breakthrough and shift in which we come back into the truth of our own authentic value and the power that that value truly represents in helping us to really generate the outcomes of our own lives, our own experience, our own reality going forward as we go through this vibrational shift and transcendence into the age of Aquarius, which is where we're heading, which has been really the energetic goal of this entire astrological new year since the new moon that we had in Aries, trying to help us make these internal breakthroughs in terms of coming back into alignment with the truth of our self-value, self-worth, self-love, and the power that that gives us internally in order to really become our own creative forces in this reality going forward. Again, very much in alignment with the changes that need to happen as we enter this new paradigm, this new vibrational paradigm, which is the age of Aquarius. But there's a lot to talk about today, like I said, in terms of the energetics. So let's get to it. First of all, really right now, we are entering sort of like the big show or the grand finale of this very transformative year in our energetic and vibrational shift towards this new paradigm, the age of Aquarius. From now, like I said, until December 24th, which is going to be a huge, huge day, aside from the fact that it's Christmas Eve, which also gives it a very symbolic, it just kind of adds another layer of meaning to it. However, this December 24th, this is the day where the third and final Saturn-Uranus square will be exact. At that point in time, Venus and Pluto will also be in exact conjunction. Mars will be in a trine to Chiron. There will be a grand cross going on in the sky between the moon and Jupiter and the nodes, and it's going to be a really significant point in time in this energetic and vibrational shift that's going on within us. And from now up until that point in time, this energy is building leading up to that moment. And it also makes sense because remember, we are in a new moon lunar cycle right now, which began on December 4th in Sagittarius. That was also a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse, sorry. And not only was it a solar eclipse, it was the last solar eclipse on the axis of Gemini and Sagittarius for this go round. The next eclipses are going to be in Taurus and Scorpio for the next year and a half, 2 years or so. So this was really culminating and closing out a cycle where we have really been shifting our conscious understanding of reality and letting go of a lot of the belief systems and the dogmas and the mental conditioning of the past, so that we can really crack through into this new vibrational paradigm based very much so on a mental shift. Gemini and Sagittarius, the signs where these eclipses had been happening. And the last one that we just had in the Sagittarius cycle on December 4th, and the few weeks, the 2 weeks before an eclipse and then the 3-4 weeks following eclipses have always a tendency to bring a lot of activity, some major change, and in this case specifically some major endings and some light really having been shown into the shadows and bringing us a great awareness of something that helps us to move away and to release and to let some things go, some very faded endings at this period of time. But this is also, we are in this eclipse window period following this eclipse. So it makes sense that over this next few weeks, we would have this energy of big changes going on anyways, but it also happens to line up, exactly. The 4th was the eclipse. The 24th is this date. So, 20 days. Exactly. There's that 2 again. Twos generally seem to be holding a lot of relevance at this point in time numerologically as we head into 2022. There's a lot of symbolism and a lot of numerology and a lot of degree placements and stuff and dates also that are indicating this. But we have this December 24th date that is coming up, and right now, following this eclipse and building to this point where this square is going to be exact with these other aspects going alongside of it, this is just pushing, building. And again, I really do feel like this is going to be this moment that is going to be happening on the 24th energetically is really going to be the big show. We're in the grand finale energy right now, but that is going to be the big fireworks, the big spectacle, the actual grand finale energetically. In terms of this lunar year, this lunar astrological year that we've been in, again, that began on April 11th. So yeah, we are definitely building up into that now. And then, of course, after that happens, as we close out the rest of this year, there's going to be a lot of other things falling into place. But all of the main changes that were set in place with this lunar new year, that began with that date in April, I feel like are coming to the point in this time period where they're really going to things are going to start to happen. Breaks are going to start to happen. And we'll talk about this in a minute, but specifically, again, this is going to reference these Taurus Capricorn themes of governments, establishments, longstanding power structures, and also the comfort, security, safety, financial matters, economies, resources, stuff like that, going to be gaining some type of prominence, needing some type of breakthrough into freedom, because we're talking in authenticity, because we're talking about Uranus, and Saturn is also in the sign of Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus. So we got that coming at us. But yeah, so right now, this energy that we're in, over this next 3 to 4 week period, and today, aside from the Venus-Pluto conjunction that will be, and here's another thing, we have a Venus-Pluto conjunction that is going on, you guys, right now within a 1-degree orb of each other for 24 days. There's that 24 number again. 24 days, which breaks down to a 6, and 2022 is also a 6, interesting enough. But Venus and Pluto are going to be in a conjunction within a 1-degree orb of each other for 24 days from December 6th through December 30th because of Venus's retrograde process. So aside from this square that we have growing closer and closer now over the course of the next, well, today's the 13th, so until the 24th, so the next 11 days or so, we have Venus and Pluto within that 1-degree orb. And this also is bringing up issues surrounding betrayal and abuses of power, specifically in love and money, and where our tendency to give our love and our beauty and our purity are taken advantage of. And, we also... So these themes are going to be coming up and are going to be really relevant over this course of this time, just because we have the Venus and the Pluto in the conjunction, while we simultaneously are having now this square from Uranus and Saturn building, tightening to exact. And again, this has been one of the major energetic forces that have been helping us to vibrationally break through this year. So there is probably definitely going to be themes coming up over this next few weeks of abuse of power, especially from people in authority. It could result in some financial upheavals, some economic upheavals with resources, supply chains, material comforts, and definitely, though, it's happening for the purpose of helping us to realize the truth of the power that we have inside of us and trying to help us break out of a mindset that causes us to want to reach out for external validation or external support because we don't acknowledge it and realize the power and the resources that we truly hold inside of us to create those things for ourselves. So a lot of the things that come up and that happen over the next couple weeks are trying to teach us that we really don't need to be so reliant on external sources of power to fuel our comfort and our security and our livelihood. That's really the grand lesson right now through all of this. Again, as we go through this energetic vibrational shift into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of self-empowerment, self-mastery, self-knowledge, and co-creation with God and universe. And we can't do those things if we don't recognize the truth of the resources and the power they represent to help us create our own reality within us, really, generally, essentially. So just to, flush out this whole Saturn square Uranus energy that I began talking about today because it's so relevant today, I just wanted to give you the dates of the first two squares because these dates may be relevant as well. The first Saturn square to Uranus exactly was on February 17th. That happened at 8 degrees of Aquarius and Taurus. The second one was on June 14th, and that happened at 14 degrees of Aquarius and Taurus. And now the third, like I said, will be on December 24th, and that will be at 12 degrees of Aquarius and Taurus. And like I said, aside from this being the last of the big square exact between these two planets, there's also so much else that's going to be going on that day. Venus, like I said, conjunct Pluto, Mars trine Chiron. The sun is going to be at 3 degrees of Capricorn. That Sabian symbol is the human soul receptive to growth and understanding. Soul evolution, this is talking about. There's going to be that grand cross going on. And another thing that we have going on, you guys, and this is going to be happening actually over the next couple days, all of the planets are about to be on one side of the nodal axis, the side from the signs Sagittarius through Gemini. All of the planets are on one side of the zodiac and none of them are on the other side of the zodiac. And that is kind of telling us a lot also, especially in terms of the signs that are being empty and the ones that are holding the planets. It's the last signs and the first signs, which to me is also talking about a period of endings and beginnings, ending cycles and fresh starts coming with this energy that's being indicated on the 24th as well. So anyways, back to today. Sorry, I just felt like there was a need now that we have this 1 degree orb separation between the square going on between Uranus and Saturn. I just kind of wanted to give a little bit of background, bring that back up, sort of flush it out a little bit more because this is a really important energetic. And this energetic and the Venus-Pluto conjunction that we have going on are really, I feel like, the main energies that we are going to be maneuvering and navigating over this next few weeks. And then like everything else that's happening is sort of happening on the outside. So I wanted to address that first. Now let's talk specifically about the energy that we have going on today. Like I said, Saturn moved to 11 degrees of Aquarius over the weekend. The Sabian symbol of that degree, or the energy of that degree described in a picture form, just so that we can get more context about how planets operate at this degree and what any planet at a specific degree is doing in terms of activating or playing a role in this grand unfolding astrological story that we're constantly immersed in, is perpetually carrying us through time and space. I always read the Sabian symbols because they just give more clarity. And the Sabian symbol of 11 Aquarius, where Saturn just moved to, is during a silent hour, a man receives a new inspiration that may change his life. And again, this is right in alignment with the energy that we have going on right now, all about really shifting our mind, seeing things from a whole new perspective, divine intervention, awakening. We're really in great awakening energy. Like this you know, that December 24th day, that is like the great awakening in a lot of ways, the way that I see it. And building up to that, we really are in this great awakening energy. And now we have Saturn at this degree talking about in the silent hour, the man receives a new inspiration that may change his life. And that really is what we're all doing right now. We're all in the process of changing our lives, changing our timelines, changing our futures, changing our paths based on the shifts that we're making internally and these vibrational shifts that are allowing us to create and attract entirely different realities going forward, which is how humanity collectively creates the age of Aquarius. This is how it happens. So we have Saturn now at this degree in the 1 degree orb square to Uranus. So, you know, today, throughout the week, throughout next week, as this energy builds through the 24th, this is increasing collectively tension between rules, duty, obligation, authority, and truth, authenticity, and freedom, Saturn and Uranus. It is most likely to be impacting governments, authorities, establishments, long-standing power and control dynamics, as well as money, resources, material pleasures and possessions, comforts, food, safety, security, values, creative projects, and also like fashion and stuff like that as well, with the sign being Taurus. We could potentially see some shocks, surprises, upheavals, or just big clashes of power in some type of a way while we have this going on over this next couple weeks leading up until this point in time. Also today, for Monday the 13th, we do still have, beginning the day, Venus in the conjunction to Pluto. This energy has been active all weekend, you know. Have you realized the truth about the dynamics going on or operating under the surface in relationships? I'm wondering. That is really what this energy has been trying to expose to us over this past few days and still in effect today, but it is ending today, and Venus will move out to that 1 degree off of Pluto. But again, until December 30th, they are in a 1 degree orb conjunction, which is, you know, it is a conjunction. So we have that going on as well. Definitely all of these Venus themes. Betrayal may be a big thing going on right now too. Betrayal, abusive situations, but it's all happening so that we can really see the truth of what has been controlling us, what we've been giving our power to, and the true like underlying power and control dynamics that have been going on in our relationships, and whether or not they truly are good for us and in alignment with our own self-worth, our own self-value, and our own self-love at this point in time. Also today, you guys, could be a very heated, fiery day. We have the moon in Aries, and not only is the moon in Aries, but the moon will be conjuncting the Eris point today. If you caught my weekend video that I made for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, then you knew that yesterday on Sunday we had the sun in an exact trine to the Eris point. The Eris point is the ultimate in the break the chains energy, freedom for the sake of freedom, truth for the sake of truth, authenticity, integrity, all on display, not afraid to shake the boat, not afraid to, get things a little bit like disheveled or cause a bit of a ruckus in order for that truth to come through. And so it's been a very inspiring past couple of days, a very active past couple of days for people really speaking their truth and breaking themselves free from things that they feel like are out of alignment with truth and authenticity. And with the moon now, our emotions and our feelings coming into the alignment, the conjunction with the Eris point today, we really may be fired up to speak our truth and break free in some type of a way. Not only that, the sun is at 22 degrees of Sagittarius today, only 1 degree off the trine from the Eris point still. The moon at the Eris point will also trine the sun. This is an emotional alignment between what we need and how we feel, inspired happenings, inspired ongoings today, and a strong desire to break us free from something based in truth with the sun in Sagittarius, feeling very courageous and strong and motivated to break free from something today with the moon in the conjunction to the Eris point and also in the trine to the sun. And number 3 that the moon is doing today, if the moon is in late Aries conjuncting the Eris point, that also means that the moon will then be making a square to Venus and Pluto in conjunction today. This could definitely be bringing up those feelings of hurt, betrayal, and abuse as a catalyst for some type of anger that causes us to stand in our power and break ourselves out of any type of toxic dynamic or something out of alignment with truth, integrity, and authenticity that we feel that we are involved in at this point in time. With the moon at the Aries point, trining the sun, and also squaring Venus and Pluto, who are together still in Capricorn, definitely there could be some really hurt or angry feelings in regards to toxic relationship dynamics that are pushing us to stand in our power, break free from something. And with Uranus in the square to Saturn, this is also upsetting the balance in long-standing power and control structures, dynamics for the sake of truth, liberty, authenticity in order to align with the heart. In Taurus, ruled and creative self-expression, like creative pursuits, creativity, with Uranus being in Taurus, ruled by Venus. So very interesting. Also, you guys, today we got some very shifting energy coming in. I probably should have said this in my intro, but I was so wrapped up in Uranus and Saturn that I totally forgot to mention it. We have Mercury and Mars both changing signs today, you guys. This is big energetic shifts for sure, both in the way that our mind is thinking, our mind is working, our mind is operating, what we're thinking about, what we're focusing on, and also how our energy itself is operating, what we're doing, what we're acting on, what we're motivated to pursue. Now, we have Mercury moving into Capricorn. This is going to make our mind be more critical, detail-oriented, more about making plans, goal-oriented, studying, practicing, attention to detail, also very practical thinking, grounded thinking, business-minded, logical, logistical, very much more grounded, practical, hardworking, focused, diligent, attention to detail, mental energy going on over this next couple of weeks while we have Mercury transiting Capricorn. Also, we have Mars, like I said, moving to Sag today. This is a shift in our energy, how our energy is working. This, with Mars and Sag, this is going to, Sag is ruled by Jupiter. This is going to be expanding our energy for sure, specifically in regards to seeking truth and in regards to our beliefs. It could also bring up a lot of fighting over the truth of things, conflict over belief systems, and fighting for truth generally. People are going to want the truth with this and are going to be willing to fight for it. People are also most likely going to be really defensive over any belief systems that we still haven't been able to shift. However, Mars moving into Sagittarius brings us to another big aspect that we have going on this week. This will actually happen tomorrow and Wednesday. And that means that Mars will be coming into an exact conjunction with the south node of the moon. The South Node, this is karma. This is the things from the past. This is the lessons that we've learned. This is the things that we're good at. This is really what we need to graduate from and move on from, release and let go so that we can grow and evolve in a new direction going forward according to the blueprint of our souls and the collective destiny of humanity at this point in time. The nodes have been very important right now, also being in this eclipse window. And with Mars in Sagittarius coming into the conjunction with the South Node, though, this may actually give us a lot of energy for releasing things from the past, but it could also bring up some conflict and anger over things from the past as well. It could also bring, potential for some karma coming through with this also. But yeah, conflict or anger over things from the past, things coming back from the past with this, or also a lot of just energy, motivation, courage, strength, or like conscious action being put towards walking away from something, releasing something, and having the courage and the strength to follow through on that. And that really is the highest octave that we should be operating with as we use this Mars South Node conjunction this week, because this really is a really, really strong opportunity for us to release, our passions of the past through the strength and willpower and motivation to pursue a new direction for ourselves going forward. But really big energy shift today, you guys, with both Mars and Mercury changing signs. This is, our mind and our energy both beginning to operate differently over the coming weeks while we have different signs in effect. Another thing that I want to mention today, and this is really the last thing that I want to say about the energy for today, is remember, you guys, Jupiter currently is the ruler of this cycle that we have going on, this lunar cycle in Sagittarius. Jupiter is currently at 28 degrees of Aquarius today. That Sabian symbol is a tree felled and sawed to ensure a supply of wood for winter. So this is telling me that this week, while Jupiter is at this degree, anything that is happening and what is really happening right now is really preparing us with the inner resources we'll need for what's to come. It's really helping us to fortify our inner hearth for what we may encounter over this next few weeks, over this climax, big finale, big show period activation that we have coming up with the third Saturn Uranus square. So, whatever difficult experiences we are going through right now, it is really for the purpose of preparing us and making sure that we have the inner resources we need to handle what is to come. A tree felled and sawed for use in winter. It's not an easy thing to fell and saw that tree. It takes a lot of work and it's difficult and it takes a lot of energy and time, but it ensures that we will be able to make it through potentially more bleak times because of the resources that we've attained for ourselves. And so with Jupiter at this degree, I feel like this is telling us that in quite an expanded way, because this is Jupiter, the planet of expansion, that the experiences and the hardships and the difficulties and what we're having to really work on right now is actually going to come back around and benefit us in some type of a way in what we encounter going forward. We'll be more prepared for what comes because of the experience that we're going through now, in whatever type of a way. Now, I just want to talk. So that's what I have for the energy for today. Venus and Pluto, big themes going on. Uranus and Saturn, big themes going on. Mars coming into the conjunction with the South Node tomorrow. Another big activation. Today we have the Moon in Aries, conjunct the Eris point, trine the Sun, and squaring Venus and Pluto. Definitely in some break the chains energy going on today as well. And just energy now building up to this 24 date when we have this square going on. So, oh yes, and Mercury and Mars, again, changing signs, shifting energy. Very active, energetic day today, you guys. Now, tomorrow, like I said, the 14th and the 15th on Tuesday, this will be the day where we have Mars coming into the conjunction with the South Node. Remember, Mars takes 2 days to transit a degree, so this will be a 2-day activation. It is the 14th through the 15th, and the 15th, we are also going to be having the Moon in a conjunction to Uranus. So there could be some shocking or surprising things taking place, or some revelations or some epiphanies or some awakenings happening that allow us to really actively release the past, or for some reason bring something back from the past that needs to be cleared, and may provoke some conflict or some anger for us in some type of a way. But some type of shock or surprise very evident potentially on Tuesday, while we have, because of the Moon conjuncting Uranus, while we have Mars and the South Node in conjunction. On the 16th, the Moon is going to be conjunct the North Node and opposed the South Node, while we still have Mars in a conjunction to the South Node. So the Moon and our emotions are going to be tied into this active release as well on the 16th. Mars won't be exact, but it's still close enough. On the 17th, we are going to be having our lovely Sun coming into a conjunction with the galactic center. Divine wisdom in abundance for sure today, or on the 17th. There could be a lot of messages from the divine intervention coming in for sure. On the 19th of December, Venus is going to go retrograde, and we're also going to have the Sun in exact sextile to Jupiter on that day. On the 20th, we are going to be having the Sun at the last degree of Sagittarius, and then the Sun will beginning to move into Capricorn, where Venus and Pluto are as well, and where Mercury will be as well. So we'll really be kicking off a lot of Capricorn energy come this weekend. So, and remember, all of this is transpiring while we have Saturn in square to Uranus and Venus within a 1-degree orb conjunction to Pluto. So another quite active, busy week energetically, a lot going on, a lot happening. I have a few more minutes. Let's talk about the tarot cards that came through for this morning, talking about the energy that we have going on for the week this week. I was shuffling, asking Spirit to clarify the collective energy, where we are at right now, and what is really, just clarify the collective. How are we doing? How are we feeling? What is the current state of humanity right now as we go through this energy today and this week? And the energy that came through, I had 2 cards come out, and we had the 3 of Wands, and then we had the 8 of Cups. And then on the back of the deck was the 2 of Swords. So to start this week off, and again, I feel like this is definitely going to be shifting as we go through this week because of the South Node activation again, the Saturn square Uranus energy, Venus and Pluto, and today also with the Aries point activations that we have going on. But really, this is telling me sort of that we are like reflecting on both the past and the future and the creative potential that exists within a brand new horizon. See how this guy is kind of staring out over the horizon, watching ships going out, ships going in, the past and the future, and the potential that exists in like a brand new horizon. But it's like, in order to make that happen, it's like we're realizing that we really need to walk away from something. We need to walk away from something in order to get there and let a lot go. And at this point in time, with this card on the back of the deck, the 2 of Swords, it's like we may be having a hard time, or just like having a hard time, or feeling like we have to make a difficult decision or a blind choice without knowing what the truth will be, what will actually come from it. And it's sort of like, this is sort of reminding me of sort of like leap of faith energy in some type of a way. Like we know the potentials that the future holds, and that there's a whole new horizon available to us. And we're kind of contemplating the past and the future and our experiences. And we know in order to get there, it would require like sort of a painful ending and having to walk away from things that we've loved, things that we've cared about, things that have meant something to us, and sort of like feeling like we have to make this blind choice, not really knowing what to do because we don't know for sure the outcome that we will get from this horizon. And like I said, it kind of makes me feel like we're in this position right now where we're sort of having to kind of collectively decide that we want to take a leap of faith and we want to trust the potential of that new opportunity and make the decision, even though we can't necessarily see the outcome and what it will be. So now I'm going to draw a synchronicity card for us. This is a little message from God and Spirit to just give us some inspiration or some guidance as we navigate these energies this week. These are from Jana Shellman, and they are beautiful cards. And this card says persist. This was the card that jumped out. Because of his persistence, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened to you. Luke 11:8-9. Nothing is too large or too small, and your persistence in believing in God's ability to provide whatever it is you seek will bring you to your goal. Persistence, waiting, patience, and never failing faith will lead you to your goal. And like I was just saying about these cards, it's like we really just have to persist with our idea and our vision of the new horizon that's available to us and all of the potential that it holds and all of the opportunity that it holds. And we just need to persist on that path and not really question what it looks like. Just to go in that direction, know that we need to turn our back on something and have faith, take that blind faith and just do it with persistence. And that is the card that is coming out today too. And that also correlates and resonates with the energetics and the breakthroughs that are trying to take place right now for all of us collectively, so that we can shift vibrationally and be liberated to go down this new horizon into the age of Aquarius. So that is what I have for my report today, you guys. I hope I was able to bring you something that can help you with your day, help you navigate the energetics this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you think they would be interested. Leave me comments. I love you guys' comments, and definitely come back with me tomorrow. We got a lot to talk about. Mars conjunct the South Node. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.